Alright guys, this is going to be sort of a double video response. Just watched a video by Praeeo. I'm going to leave this as a response to that. Yeah, what do you want to bet that it's just a matter of time before we see some sort of there's already a watch list and stuff like that, but some sort of I don't know how to word it. I tell you what, the first link will be to Praeeo's video that I'm responding to. The second link will be a Rachel Maddow clip. Now, I'm not a fan of Rachel Maddow, or mainstream media for that matter, but she did a really good piece on the Department of Pre-Crime, talking about how the government can just lock people up and throw away the key. No, they didn't have to do anything wrong. They could just be suspected of maybe about to do something wrong and be held indefinitely with no... It just... I'll put the link to the clip. It'll be the second link. But yeah, what do you want to bet? It's just a matter of time. After this thing in Arizona, it's just a matter of time before something like that is a reality. Watch the Rachel Maddow clip to know what I'm talking about. The movie Minority Report, Department of Pre-Crime. You know, I know there's a number of people, a number of my subscribers who watch my videos, who have not yet made a video, who might really want to make a video, but you're afraid to speak. You're afraid to put your face out there, your voice, because you think you're going to be placed on a list, or the DHS and the FBI is going to come swoop you up. Let me tell you something. When the people of this country are afraid to speak up, that's when you know you have a fucking problem. When people in the United States of America are afraid to voice their opinions because the government may come get them, that is called tyranny. In my opinion. Those of you who want to speak out, want to make a video, I've always encouraged people to make videos. People are afraid to talk. So yeah, Praeeo, good video. Please check her video out. You know, all I could say is watch the Rachel Maddow clip, and you'll kind of put two and two together. The other part of this video response is going to be to, let me see, I don't know your name here. It's Famturn, Famturn. In response to a video you made to me. First of all, thank you for making that video. I will link it below as well. And for what it's worth, thanks for your service to our country. I mean that. If I were to get into everything I believe and why I believe the way that I do, this video would go on for hours. So in the interest of time, I'm just going to cover one topic that you spoke about, and that's 9/11 truth. I want you to know that I did not come to my conclusions regarding September 11th, 2001 lightly. I once looked at the truther community as complete and total insane people, the same as you pretty much spelled out in your video to me. And, you know, it took my life to come crashing down. I know I've said all this before. My subscribers already know my story, but it took everything being taken away from me, everything I worked for over 10 years, for me to sit down and figure out why. Why is the housing market crashed? Why this? Why that? It's my belief that the United States of America is being completely destroyed on purpose to bring in the New World Order. And the New World Order is real. How many politicians have we seen say the words New World Order? As far as my beliefs about 9/11, I spent a lot of nights in tears, terrified of what I was learning when I started looking into this stuff. The funny thing is, whenever I challenge somebody to review the material, they won't do it. They just simply say, "You're crazy. That's not possible." They won't even take the time to watch documentaries like Loose Change, Wake Up Call. I mean, just so much information on the internet. If you really want to look into 9/11, here's my advice. If you're going to investigate 9/11 for yourself, this is very important. You have to enter that investigation completely in the center. You cannot lean to the government side, and you cannot lean to the conspiracy theory side. When I started looking into the events of 9/11, I read the 9/11 Commission report, and I'm not much of a reader. I read it, and there were so many holes in it. One being Building 7 wasn't even addressed. What was it, like 70% of family members' questions were never answered. I watched a video one time and then I went and looked it up. More money is spent on the Super Bowl, when you factor in commercials and all the cost. More money is spent on the Super Bowl than was spent investigating the events of September 11th, 2001. I would think that if September 11th was actually a terrorist attack, my government would go to there would be no end to investigating it. I do not hate the United States government, and I definitely love my country. I hate what the United States government is doing to its citizens. I hate the fact that we have a president who, while he was campaigning, promised to end the wars and bring the troops home fast. My cousin has been in the Navy for 16 or 17 years. He's currently deployed. I believe he's on the Abraham Lincoln, which is it's over there. I don't know if he said the Mediterranean Sea. It's over there somewhere. My cousin and I do not agree on most of this stuff, and he's my best friend. We do not let that come in between our friendship. Hell no. It's never going to happen. Can't happen. I'm not really quite sure what else to say here, other than I would challenge anyone who would just look at us and say, "You're crazy, you're all just a bunch of conspiracy nuts. 9/11 was how it was told on the mainstream media." I challenge anyone who would make that statement to at least review all of the material. I'm not asking you to believe me. I'm not asking anyone to believe me. No one should believe a word that comes out of my mouth. People should take it upon themselves to do their own research. How do I feel about September 11th? This is my Missouri state license plate that I had on my vehicle shortly after 9/11. To get this license plate in the state of Missouri, you have to make a donation to the Department of Homeland Security to use the emblem. I can't remember off the top of my head what that amount is, but it's a yearly thing you have to do when you renew your plates if you want to keep the plate. I am simply embarrassed to show that to you. I am embarrassed. But at the time, I thought I was doing the right thing. I thought I was doing the right thing. Then years later, after everything happened to me that happened to me, I sat down and tried to start figuring out, why did this happen, man? I've always been, since I've been like 16 years old, I've always lived on my own, always been self-supportive. I'm 32 now, and I can't seem to get my life back in order after, I'm not going to go into a lot of that. All I want to say, and I'll wrap this up, I'm sorry it's so long, is that the people that would call us crazy and we're conspiracy theorists and we think everybody's out to get us, I don't think everybody's out to get us. I don't think everyone in the government is bad. I think that's absolutely ridiculous. It's like the lone gunman clip just months before 9/11 said, a small faction. I don't think everyone in the government's corrupt. And I don't think that all FBI agents and cops and all that stuff, there may be some corrupt ones out there, but it's evident that someone who became an FBI agent is obviously intelligent, that it's not an easy job to get. The thing that pops in my mind is we have all these intelligent people and no one else can see it. I wonder if there's any FBI agents out there that have actually, not on their work time, but in their spare time, maybe they're at home. I wonder if there's any of them who have actually looked into some of the claims made in documentaries such as Wake Up Call and Loose Change and many, many others. I can't simply dismiss this stuff. That's not working for me. It is terrifying to believe this way. I do not want to believe the way I believe. I do not want to believe in all this nonsense. It's my very real belief that everything that's happening, our economy, just everything is being done on purpose. You can't tell me that the United States government can't fix this mess if they wanted to. Hey, you know what? Number one, bring our fucking troops home. We got troops scattered about the world. I could go on forever. Yeah, I once looked at the truther community as if they were all crazy. I did. Somewhere along the line, I woke up, started looking into things. I read the 9/11 Commission report. I watched all of it. There's a playlist on my page of the morning of 9/11, all of the CNN coverage. I've listened to every mainstream media piece about 9/11. And I've watched every conspiracy documentary about 9/11. And my conclusions is there was a lot more going on that day than what was ever told to us. I was shocked to know that many of the terrorists who killed themselves that day are still alive and walking on this planet. I challenge anyone that calls us crazy, we're just conspiracy nuts. I challenge you to review the data. 100% of the time, you're going to say, no, I don't have to. I know you're just crazy. I don't want to believe this stuff myself. I don't want to think that there are people in my government who are capable of such things. I don't want to think that Al-Qaeda is the name of a CIA computer program. But it is. Look it up. It's not easy carrying this around. And I know I speak for everyone when I say this. It is not easy carrying this around. And what is even more distressing is that people won't listen. They won't listen until it's crashing down around them. Let's assume all of us were really crazy and none of this is real. Look at the current state of affairs and tell me where you think the United States is headed. Dismiss all of the conspiracy shit and just look at the current state of affairs and tell me where you think the United States of America is heading. Oh, and as far as your comment about you support what Bubba Effect and Crotch Vomit and everybody's doing because you believe we should be run off of YouTube, I'll tell you what. As long as I have a voice, I'm going to use it. I have every right to voice my views and opinions. I'm not asking anybody to agree with me. And if you don't agree and you just think I'm crazy, it's fine. Watch something else. American Idol's starting up pretty soon, I think they said. Well, this is a long video. I do apologize. Praeeo, great video. I'll put all these links below. It's like in the movie The Matrix when I believe his name is Cypher wants to be hooked back up because he says ignorance is bliss. Well, I wish it was that easy. Because once you figure this stuff out, ain't no going back. I would love to think that our country is in recovery. I would love to think that. I would love to get my life back on track and just forget all about this conspiracy nonsense. I don't think that's the case. Deeply saddens me. Tell you what, I'll put an extra link at the bottom. I'm going to wrap this up. I'll put an extra link in the bottom to a video that I like to come back to quite often. It's from July 4 Patriot regarding what is going on. Damn good video. He talks about how when the troops come home, when my cousin catches a flight back to the United States, when he's done with his deployment, when he gets out of the Navy, he is automatically labeled a domestic terrorist or possible domestic terrorist. Yeah. MaKaElectric report. It's a bitch. Someone who served their country for 17, 18 plus years gets out of the military and is someone who the Department of Homeland Security needs to watch. Houston, you have a problem. Closing statement. I do not hate the United States government. I do not hate the military. I very much love our military. Lieutenant Colonel Terrence Lakin, go back and watch my couple videos on that. That's how quickly the United States government will turn on military members should they dare question authority. Anyway, thank you very much for making that video to me. I'll link that below if anybody else wants to watch it. I want to make a request that no one who watches that video attacks the person who made it. He made a civil video to me. I'm making one back. And, we don't all believe the same way. Time will tell. As Naomi Wolf said, this has happened over and over again in history. She makes the statement, they did this in Germany. Yes, Hitler had a Department of Homeland Security. Oh, man. I pray anyone out there who hears my voice who thinks I'm just crazy, man, I pray you at least review the data. I'm not asking you to believe me. I just want you to review it. Go over everything from both sides. One more link. Right below July 4 Patriot, wake-up call. 2.5-hour documentary, great place to start. And to anyone out there who wants to make a video, who's subscribed to me, you really want to say something, but you're afraid, don't be afraid. Don't ever be afraid to speak. Because if you're afraid to speak and give your opinions, there's something really wrong with the United States of America. That's all I got. You guys, be good. God bless. I love you all.